You are listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast, which syndicates for the A-List Online. My name's Andrew Mackay-Smith. The interview subject I have coming up for you is Taime Downe. Taime is the front man, the man at the centre of LA's finest, Faster Pussycat. The reason for the conversation is to promote Faster Pussycat's upcoming tour of Australia. It's happening in February of 2019. The first show is happening on Thursday the 14th in Adelaide, Friday the 15th in Melbourne, Saturday the 16th in Sydney, and Sunday the 17th in Brisbane. I'll try and get along to that one. This is a really good conversation about all sorts of things. So let's have a listen to what Taime has to say. Here we go.
Hello.
Hello, mates. It's just Andrew calling back. How you going?
Good. How's it going? Sorry about that earlier.
No, that's all good. No, John explained what was going on, mate, so no worries whatsoever. I guess that leads into my...
Three different people calling at the same time. Shit. Like,
but that's
fine.
That's, I suppose, in a way, that signifies how important you are to us, don't you think?
There you go.
That people are climbing over each other to try to get a conversation with you, and that it is important to Australian fans that you're coming down.
It's awesome.
So, the shows that are coming up, have you been playing a lot live lately, or is this? Are you?
We play. No, we play all the time. We're always playing. We just played New Year's Eve at the Whiskey. Did a couple shows in Texas. We were out most of the summer. We constantly tour, so we're not just doing this for just to go to Australia, which is nice. I wish we could do it every year. But
yes.
You gotta have the promoter that wants to bring you down. You can't just go down. We're not like out promoting new shit, really. You know what I mean? We're working on new stuff, but we're not out promoting it. We're just going down to do some shows. You know what I mean? So it's not like we got a label or someone that's going to bring us down there. You know what I mean? So you got to have a promoter that wants to bring you down there. So we find,
Yeah.
I guess every 10 years. We'll find a promoter with some balls to bring us down.
Wants to do it, yeah. So do you see, it's a good point, actually. So do you see a lot of the same fans at shows? Because you do have a very loyal audience down here, I've noticed.
Yeah, I mean, we do here as well, you know what I mean? So we tour every summer, and then we'll do different runs, too. Sometimes we'll tour twice a year. We'll do another month and a half, and just get logged into some other dates, but...
Yep.
We've been doing it for forever. Doing it forever, and it's like I do. Occasionally, I'll do motorcycle trips, around the country and stuff, and I'll end up staying with people, fans, and that turn into friends. I mean, after doing this they're not only we're fans at the beginning, and since after years and years of coming and hanging out, we just get to know them, and just you forget that they're a fan once, but because they've been your buddy for 20 years,
Yeah.
So it's odd. It's cool. But yeah, you get their kids, you get the fans, and then you watch the kids grow up and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess just being able to still be able to do this over the years, you know what I mean? You get to see people grow up, and you see people go away too as well.
Yeah, so how did you... I've asked this question of so many artists, and I always get a different answer, but how did you survive the 90s? Because I know you had the Cat House, and I know you had other things going on, but it was a tough bloody era for hard rock and heavy metal.
Yeah, I fucking went to Chicago and played with some goofy industrial people and Pigface and stuff, and did that. Came back to LA, and then started the Newly Deads, then started a new club called the Pretty Ugly Club. In Los Angeles, and pretty much kept busy and working throughout the 90s. So it's like just doing different shit, learning actually how to record myself without having, like, back in the late 80s and early 90s when we started.
Yep.
It's like we were kids. We just went into the studios, we rehearsed. I never really knew what any of the knobs meant when you went into the studio. I knew there was a slider. That's got to be volume. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, that's about it. So I learned how to track and do all that shit just out of books and reading and fucking with gear, going into studios and just
spending time
working with friends and doing that shit. Then went to Chicago.
Yeah.
Did that. Joined up with Pigface, which is Martin Haggard. That formed out of Ministry, and
it's Al Jorgensen.
From Nine Inch Nails. It was like everybody from Ministry minus Al. So it was like fucking. He was like Trent Reznor. He came out of Pig Face as well, and it was like a compilation group with a bunch of people because it came out of that "Mine Is a Terrible Thing to Taste" tour. But I got to be friends with Martin. He was working on a Skinny Puppy record in L.A. And it was just kind of at the tail end of all that shit. And he was like, "You want to come out?" Me and my buddy Mike were, trying to figure out where we're going to move. Either going to move to Chicago or New Orleans. At the time, we just wanted to get the fuck out of L.A. I wanted to change, wanted to do something different. So we both, Pigface and Martin stuff was in Chicago. And we had a bunch of other friends in Chicago too. So that was the move, and we did that, and it was fun. It was fun. It was different. It was changes shit, but it was like still fucking Midwest. I'm a West Coast boy, so I was like, I got homesick and moved back to California.
Yeah, Mr.
I'm
Sun,
from Seattle, but it's It was when it's in Chicago, it gets hot and humid. In LA, at least it's hot. It's just hot.
Dry heat
and all that shit. And my mom and my sisters and shit, they're all in Seattle. It's just closer to get home to visit and stuff too. But it was fun. It was definitely fun. It was a good change of pace.
Yeah, fair enough. And you would have worked with, I've never asked anybody about Paul Barker before, but if that's cool, I'll ask you about working with him. So did you have an opportunity to work with him when you were doing the Pigface stuff?
Not a whole lot with Paul, because he was kind of like but I met him and stuff. I worked more with like Charles Levi and fucking Paul Raven. Paul Raven.
Oh, Raven. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. He was in Prong for a while as well.
Guy. I was just going to say, he kept trying for years to get me in Prong. Because I've known Tommy too. We did some remix shit with me and Scold and stuff. When I came back from Chicago and stuff, Paul was trying. He hung out a lot, me and Paul. He was constantly trying to get me to play guitar with Prong, but I was busy doing different shit. And Tommy was like, "Nah, he's a glam rocker." we always gave each other shit, but we always got this as a joke and shit. But me and Tommy always got along fucking awesome too. So.
Yeah, that's sweet. Actually, I'm a big Prong fan. That would have been awesome to see you do some of that stuff there. But obviously, you had other things.
I was into it, but I started doing the Newly Deads at that same time, and I really liked what I was doing and the guys I was with. So I was like, I go, there's fucking huge money in it, and of course you pay everybody as least as possible.
Oh yeah.
He's a good bloke. He's like, it wasn't rolling in dough, but fucking good band, and they're still fucking great. Tommy's still awesome.
Yeah, I saw them when they came down. Actually, not many people in the crowd, though. It must be said. I don't know what the hell happened. I don't think it was the promoter's fault, but it was one of those occasions where they played on a Tuesday and Wednesday night, middle of the week, and it wasn't really a flat out show, unfortunately. But I'm an old fan, that's why I knew Raven. But just talking about Raven, then, because of course I've read Al's biography, Al Jorgensen's biography. What's your take on working with Raven?
Raven, he'd come over to here. He'd come over to my place and work with me. So he was just always fucking smiling and laughing and always fun. Always a fun guy to hang out with. Yeah. So he'd come over and help me work on shit. Because we were like, I said I was working on me and Tim Skoll were working on some shit for Prong. We were doing some remix on some of the tracks for their remixes and shit. So, but Paul was always, fucking Raven was always just awesome. We used to hang out a lot together at Crazy Girls, a strip club in Hollywood after. We'd always come down to my club. I had the fucking Badass Rock Club in LA for a long time called the Pretty Ugly Club.
No, Pretty Ugly Club.
No, this is after. This was like started right at the beginning of 2000.
Okay.
Ended on Christmas '99 was the first Pretty Ugly Club, and it was like the Cat House for like 5 years in LA. It was fucking but it was like in 2000. It was all just fucking new shit. Just the new glam kind of movement, rock and shit in LA at the time. And there's a lot of Gwen Mars and different shit broken and.
Oh shit!
The Newly Deads, Texas Terry. It was a fun fucking scene. The club was packed every fucking Tuesday. So
I bet. So it was only on one night.
Or I was actually Wednesday Cat House. I was just doing some Cat House shit with Ricky. That was Tuesday. Pretty Uglies was every Wednesday. So,
Oh right, yeah. So the clubs are both clubs. Are they still in existence in some shape or form?
Fuck no, not at all.
Gonskis. Yep.
All all just part of time, you know.
Well, the Cat House is legendary. You must be aware of that. People across the world, obviously I'm from Australia, and even I know about it. I've seen you wear the T-shirts in promo shots and the like. So do you get asked a lot about some of the shenanigans that happened in there?
Yeah, totally. We've done it. Ricky just started a podcast, so we're helping him do that.
Sweet.
Too. It's called the fucking Hollywood, Cat House Hollywood podcast or whatever, but it's like, he just started. He's got 2 little episodes. The short episodes are cool, so
yeah,
definitely check it out. Go to your podcast thing on your app and subscribe to it. It's pretty cool. So it's like, yeah, we've done Cat House reunions. We did that big Cat House Live thing that we did at Irvine Meadows. It was a few years ago.
Yep,
and that was cool. But it's like those days are just they were those days. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That time and that place, even like the Pretty Ugly Club, Hollywood got to be pumping again. And it was like when you have a rock club that's in Los Angeles Magazine, which is in all like the dentist's office, and it's talking about your club, and it was pretty crazy. And it was a lot of fun. That's when I got more fucked up then than I ever did back in the old days.
I bet. Did
you? Shit. So now I'm sober.
How did you? Did you ever perform or hang out with River Phoenix?
Actually, I didn't ever perform, but I've hung out a couple of times with them, and I was there that night that happened.
Oh shit! Yeah. I know that was.
He's mutual friends with a lot of people.
Yeah, he's a rock and roller,
Josh
wasn't he?
Richmond and John, and I've known Johnny Depp and fucking Robert Downey and all those fuckers since we came out, since back in like '86 and shit. I've been friends with those guys. So
do you still get to?
We were new rockers. They were new actors and shit too. So
yeah, well, emerging rockers and emerging actors, and do you still hang out with some of those guys?
Yeah, once in a while. We'll see them at the holidays for certain things. We got mutual friends for that as well, too.
Yeah, sweet, yeah.
We're always like, someone should say, come, hey, and shit, different. So it's just, it's weird. Go back. 'Cause, I mean, a lot of those guys who used to hang out, come to my club, come to the Cat House as well. Like I said, we were all kids. Kids back then. So. Yeah.
Hey, what was your journey to sobriety like, if you don't mind me asking the question? Was it a difficult one, or was it like you woke up on Monday and said, I'm not doing this anymore?
No, it's called like fucking, we were out getting ready to do a festival in Maryland, the M3 festival, a bunch of shit almost 2 years ago, and then fucking couldn't lay down and as soon as I put my head back, I couldn't breathe. And it was like, I didn't know what was wrong with me. So we were supposed to do some other show. We did we did long out. We did the Whiskey, flew out the next night, like fucking so early in the morning that we went from that gig at the Hollywood to the airport, and then flew out early in the morning, played that night in Long Island. Then we played a Jersey show. Then we played a show in the city, down at Bowery Electric in New York. Then we did a show in Delaware. And then that's when that happened. I was like, fucking, we were supposed to do a show in Pittsburgh, but I was already going to cancel that anyway because it was ridiculously too far to go for a fly out and a drive in a car and then have to get back to this festival, which was the main reason we went out for any of those shows. Mm-hmm. And, we went to the doctor. I don't know what the fuck this is. I couldn't, in Delaware, I lay at the hotel. I lay down and I couldn't breathe. It was like someone was choking me. I sat up and I could breathe. Then I laid down. So basically they used to have to fall asleep sitting up. And then we drove to Maryland and they would go, let's just go to the doctor, check it out. Maybe it's some type of pneumonia or walking pneumonia or something. And it was fucking, I just was bombarded by everything. They were like, you're diabetic? I go, no. Oh, you go, no. And then chances are you have lung cancer, and chances are you have kidney cancer, and you have congestive heart failure. All that at once.
Jesus,
so, I couldn't do the show. They had other people sing for me. The band went up and played, but I was in the hospital. They wouldn't let me leave. So, and I was in there for 2 nights, and then I flew back with them, and then I just went to the doctors, and luckily I didn't have any cancers, and it was just heart failure, and I'm fixed, but now I'm sober too, so I'm still diabetic, but I'm like, my shit's good. My heart's good.
Yeah.
They had to put a stent in my heart.
Okay.
And now, because it was only working at half capacity, and now it's working at regular capacity like everybody else is.
Shit,
so
mate. Yeah.
They fixed it, and I just, I told people, how'd you quit smoking, man? And I just, congestive heart failure. I just get that and quit smoking like that. I've smoked for 37 years. I thought, just before that happened, I was talking to somebody, I'll probably never quit smoking. It'll probably kill me. And I just fucking, like a week later, I was in the hospital, but I've not had a cigarette or a drink or any drugs since. So it's almost 2 years now.
That's incredible.
It
mate.
wasn't something that I wanted to do. I enjoyed I enjoyed my life doing it, but I also enjoy my life a little bit more than that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have my life at all. Because it would have killed me. I would have kept going on the way I was, and I thought nothing. I thought I was fine. I had no idea. I thought I was indestructible.
Yeah.
I just had done it for so long, and just lived the same way for forever. And I just thought, I thought I could go on forever doing it that way. And my body said, "Fuck you." So
that's how it works, isn't it? I've heard this many times, and I've had a few discussions with artists and musicians now where it does get like that. Everything's fine, and then one day you wake up and there is a big fuck you waiting for you. But you've turned things around. So have you got energy levels these days?
Yeah, more. I could walk up a street now, which I couldn't do before. Basically, anytime I go uphill, you'd be like, after smoking since I was 15. But now, I get out there every morning. I'm out for about at least 4 miles, usually about 5 miles a day.
Yep.
Get out and do that in the mornings when I get up and do whatever. It's fun doing it too when I'm on tour because you get to do it all these. I do have this thing called Map My Walk on my iPhone.
Yep.
And I was like, we were in Europe, and I just got my little maps of just walking over these little cobble bridges over these little fucking canals or whatever, just different places. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
To be able to just get out and before I'd just be hungover and sleeping it off somewhere. But shit's a little different. I do not miss hangovers because as you get older, they get fucking longer and longer.
They're horrendous. I'm 40 and they're horrendous hangovers. I don't drink to the point. I have about 5 drinks and then I'm done these days. Yeah. Special occasions.
They're gonna get worse, Bubba. They're gonna get longer.
Yeah. I've thought about not drinking, but it's
but it's fucking whatever. I miss a fucking good cold beer on a hot day, especially down there right now. It's fucking blistering.
Oh, it's
like ridiculously hot down there right now.
It's
on the news here. It's on the news here. That's how bad it is.
Oh shit! Yeah. It's if you got air conditioning, you're okay. Where I'm in Queensland, you've been here before, so you know what it's like. We're in the subtropics here. Yeah. Well, I'm in the subtropic part, so it's not too bad. Yeah. But if you go further inland or further north or down in the desert part of South Australia, mate, you cannot go outside. It's a death wish. It's just far too hot.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. I'm back at uni, right, studying, and I'm 40, so I'm changing careers, and I'm doing something called Australian literature, which ironically, I'm the only Australian in the class. The rest of the class is full of people where you're from in the United States.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're talking about Australia, and our history, mate, is just basically been a bit like in the when people moved from east to west in the States back in the 1700s and 1800s and the like. Mm-hmm. It's just trying to grapple with the environment and the weather. And just
trying to get something that was unknown.
Yeah. It's always this is not new. Hot weather and drought and very arid conditions are not new to Australia. So I suppose we can't complain too much. We've just got to deal with it. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, look, you're a survivor in my book. Do you think that's fair to say?
Totally. Completely.
You're a survivor, but you've done it and you've lived.
I survived this fucking ball. Still rolling on it too. So
Yeah, good on you. Good on you. And you know what? You've had fun doing it. And the thing that I like about listening to you talk, it doesn't sound like you've got any regrets, which I think is awesome.
Nah, it's just I do the shit the way I do it, and I've always done it that way. And I mean, there's some shit that I wish I knew, just like the face of the song. Wish I knew now what I wish I knew then what I know now.
Yeah.
But fucking whatever. I've had a lot. I've had a lot of fun. I've had probably more fun than most people could have in a dozen lifetimes in mine. And I take the good with the bad, but I'm still here and I'm still enjoying my mornings. So it's all right.
Yeah.
I can't complain. I feel very fortunate and grateful.
That's wonderful, mate. Yeah. Well, look, I'll wrap things up, mate. Thanks very much for the chat. Really appreciate it. You know, the shows down here should be cracking. So you've got 4 or 5 shows, I think, that are happening across...
We got 4. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane, mate. So, yeah, good luck with the shows and keep on rocking, man. It's been a pleasure to chat to you.
Cool, brother.
No worries, mate.
Take care, man. We'll see. All right, later.
For sure, brother. No worries. Catcha. Bye. You have been listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast series, which syndicates for the A-List Online. My name is Andrew Mackay-Smith, and that conversation featured Taime Downe from Faster Pussycat. Thank you so much for listening.